Hey everyone, Nubkeks here and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm, the Road to Grandmaster. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Uther, who is he's just insanely good. He's so good. Top support in the game right now, without a shadow of a doubt. I think at the moment, Uther and Malf definitely stand out as being the best. They both have decent healing. Most importantly, what both of those heroes bring is huge kill pressure, and very impactful CC, including area of effect CC. You know, Malf with Twilight Dream, big AoE, lots of damage, long-term silence. Uther, Divine Storm, boom, big AoE, long stun. Yeah, it's there's a bit of a pattern with the supports who are good right now. Also thought this game was interesting. We got a couple of pro players in this game. We got Blumby from Team Liquid. He's our team captain. Timeless Y looking for team. That's actually Snitch from Team Dignitas, I'm pretty sure. So he's the team captain for the other team. So, a pretty decent standard game for you here today. And yeah, Braxis. We'll talk about why I pick up Uther, kind of following up on a couple of these picks right here. Sylvanas banned out from our team, just remove that sort of pushing pressure, which can snowball things in Hero League quite a bit. Can be just a pain to deal with. The enemy team banning out Oriel is actually quite intriguing. And then Snitch picks up the Genji. I'm not sure why he bans out the Oriel, to be honest with you. I think they're just a bit concerned, or Snitch is concerned, that with the Genji's obviously very powerful, right? But maybe, you know, with the Oriel with the Gul'dan or the Oriel with the Vala, just the pushing power that would bring and the sustain could be a problem for them to deal with a Genji composition, right? So Genji's insanely good at Braxis. He can just wreck the boss, his ganks are amazing, his kill pressure is amazing, but you don't have that great wave clear, you don't have good pushing power, so I suppose removing the Oriel because of that. That's my best guess. They grab Arthas as well, which is okay. I mean, Arthas is pretty good on the map, so I think that's fine. You know, top tier tank, basically. I suppose one of the big threats, of course, is, you know, the Arthas, Nubkeks, and Varian are really the top three. So there's always the threat that, you know, two of them get, you know, well, you could even have all three removed depending on how bans and picks go. So they're obviously, they decided to pick it up earlier instead of the Varian. Yeah, either one is fine. We get Probius then for wave clear, which again I'm saying is they're probably kind of scared of actually with that Oriel ban. And then I pick up the Uther. So Uther, I think Uther is fantastic against Genji in particular. Just the point and click crowd control, both Divine Storm and Hammer of Justice, very easy to hit. I'm actually going to build into Holy Shock in this game as well, so you also have point and click ability damage. So we can put out a lot of hurt onto Genji, make his life really hard. You know, he wants to dive into our team. Sorry, Genji, you're stunned for, you know, 2.5 seconds. Feels bad for you, plus a bit of burst damage from us. We can kill that Genji fairly easily, so makes their life quite difficult. They ban out the Vala, again I think scared of pushing power. We ban out Gul'dan, remove some pushing power from the enemy team. They grab Malf, who's the other top tier support, I would say, especially on this map. And then Cassia for them, which is an interesting choice. A very interesting choice. So, I mean, charge strikes and she has some wave clear, but they are ultimately going to be quite lacking in terms of wave clear. So this is good for us. Would not personally have picked Cassia at all without us having a strong basic attack champion or like a strong hero that's troubled by what she does. There's no big synergies with her team, and there's no big counters to our team, and you're giving up someone like the banning away the Vala. They could have taken the Vala instead. It's what I would have done, but say la vie, that's the choice they've gone with, or they could have picked Kel'Thuz, something more wave clear. We'll see what their final pick is. We get Falstad and Sonya. So I actually quite like this combo. I quite like this a lot. Sonya's going to solo in the top lane and going to be very strong against most matchups up there. We'll have the Falstad with us down bottom, but he can fly up and gank top. So we can use his global to secure that top place, and he can kind of counter pressure that the Genji roams and stuff like that. I think it's quite nice. And then, you know, Falstad, he's kind of weaker than a lot of the other ranged heroes in terms of his damage and all that stuff, but we got Probius, we got loads of wave clear, so it's not even a problem if he leaves, to be honest. I mean, Probius, Nubkeks, and Uther, we should be okay. sitting there in the bottom lane and just letting Probius wave clear. They shouldn't be able to push us in, so we should be pretty safe. That's the compositions. I'll meet you guys in the game and we'll see how this one goes. Alright guys, and here we are in the game. So I think a draft that went very nicely for us, actually. Very, very nicely. We got a lot of cool things going for us. Level 1 is an interesting one for Uther. I quite like all the level 1 options. I think there is a place for each of them. Wave of Light will probably usually be the standard enough choice. I mean, it gives you a bit more mana back doing AoE healing, and then most importantly, making your armor bonus last a second longer is pretty nifty for just extra damage reduction during the team fights. In this game though, I'm gonna go for Silver Touch. So this is a quest. We have to reduce sources of damage with our Eternal Devotion, or with Devotion. So, you know, the armor we give whenever we heal someone, we reduce damage. When we've done it 40 times, it will get 20 mana off Holy Light. When we've done it 80 times, it will knock another 20 mana cost off Holy Light and increase the range by 50%. So it actually adds up to a lot of saved mana, particularly later in the game. And especially on Braxis, where it's relatively brawly, we should be able to finish out that quest somewhat quickly. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right here, I made a mistake. Okay, so that was a fairly big mistake, actually. Sure, we walked away with 2 kills, but we could have walked away without anyone dying. Maybe even 3 kills? Not quite. So what happened there was I healed our Falstad instead of healing a Nubkeks, right? A Nubkeks was further forward. Falstad had been rooted, but Falstad wasn't in immediate danger. If I'd healed up the Nubkeks instead, he probably would have lived on Blumby. So I was like, that was... Yeah, starting off this game and kind of going, oh shit, sorry Uther, I just let a pro player die. Feels bad. He was depending on me to heal him, and yeah, he's probably not too happy after that. But say la vie. But yeah, Silver Touch here at 1. It will add up to quite a lot. You can see I've already built up 31 stacks of that. I mean, 40 is the first quest point, and then 80 is the second. So as you can see, it's not too difficult to get this quest done. And it will add up to a lot of mana savings later on. Fairly guaranteed mana savings as well. And also kind of necessary if you want to run Holy Shock at 4. Holy Shock at 4 will let us cast Holy Light on an enemy to do a little bit of damage. It will also self-heal the Uther as well, which is nice. Half the cooldown on Holy Shock, or Holy Light, and give us back 45 mana. So when we've finished our level 1 quest, and we get Holy Shock, we can use our Holy Light offensively, and it will only cost us 5 mana. It's basically free. So that's pretty nice. There we go. We finished the first half of that quest, so that's going to be some mana savings. You can see we're having, you know, mana issues at the early game, but that should get a lot more manageable as we finish out this quest. We grabbed Holy Shock as well, and yeah, we're gonna. It doesn't. You don't always want to be using, of course, Holy Light aggressively. This is nice work by Nubkeks, body blocking in. Malf, we chained our CC together, let Probius set up his rifts, and Probius secures the kill. So this lane is going very well for us so far. We've been creating tons of pressure, pushing them in. Arthas moves too far forwards, trying to wave clear in panic mode, and gets, again, CC chained, and we're able to kill him and start picking him off. 64 stacks on our quest now. Level 1, 65, not too bad. And we're going to grab this globe for some mana. Actually, no, I got a Hearthstone instead. With Genji gone top and with Falstad gone top, this does free up some space for us to kind of rotate around. You see Falstad's health bar dropping, but he doesn't die. So this is very good news for us. We've basically got complete control of bottom lane. Cassia and Arthas not able at all to push forward against Probius. Falstad and Sonya win the 2v2 up top. And yeah, happy days for us, pretty much. That's a full strength Zerg Swarm for us, and only a couple of percentage points for the enemy team, so we don't have to worry too much about their Zerg. We're going to get a pretty hefty push here. Probius busting down these walls as we go. Wants to make sure he's got an escape route ready. We're moving forwards fairly aggressively here with a Nubkeks. He's ready to follow up if we do decide to die, if we do have any stuns. But yeah, you want to alternate. You have to kind of think, will I need Holy Shock, Holy Light, to heal one of my allies in the next few seconds? If yes, probably don't want to use Holy Shock. If I'm not going to need to heal them in the short term, it can often be quite valuable to do Holy Shock. It's a little bit of extra poke damage, which is useful. It gives you a bit of healing, so it keeps you topped up and sustained. And I mean, so long as the cooldown comes back off by the time you need it, you're not really losing out on anything. So it's pretty good for that. So you probably notice whenever we're up, again, it'll help us against the Cassia as well, right? So whenever we're near to Cassia, we'll probably try Holy Shock her or Genji. These heroes that can be kind of difficult to get to, we're going to just shock them, get them lower on life, and just kind of help out our team in terms of doing a little bit of extra damage. It's also a little bit of extra burst damage whenever we do lock someone down. Wave of Light and Holy Fire at 1 and 4 are the other fairly standard choices. Probably more standard than the Holy Shock build. I think both are good builds. The Wave of Light and Holy Fire is probably the more generally taken one, but I think they're both good. I think they're both nice. You can see that the hack is, I think it's actually gone for Spell Armor at level 1, which is interesting. We're going to heal him up, stun the Genji. Gonna Holy Shock the Genji, not the Genji, the Cassia there, just to try to get some extra damage on her. Remember, she gets so much physical armor, so it'll be difficult for Falsa to secure that kill. But with the Holy Shock and then the Sonya follow-up, we are able to take Cassia down. Genji is down as well. That's a very good team fight for us. Level 9 to level 7 here. Blumby looking aggressively to see if we could dive someone behind the wall. He's actually found. He's found him. We're actually going to be able to interrupt his Hearthstone with our Holy Shock. Level 7, Guardian of Ancient Kings. This is insanely strong. I think it's the one talent that's better than Cleanse, and it's easier to use than Cleanse as well. That's how I would put it. So it's better than Cleanse pretty much at every level of play, and then it's significantly better than Cleanse at lower levels of play where it's easier to use. But this, whenever you heal a hero that is stunned, rooted, or silenced, so yes, this is going to get huge value against people hit by Dahakatung, so they're stunned. Malf Roots, the Malf Silence, Arthas Roots, that he can also get at 16, and just his default root from his, I forget what it's called, his W, whatever that's called, Howling Blast maybe? All that sort of stuff. Here we go, perfect, that's like the Uther kill pressure right there. Really nice, just use our Hammer of Justice, use the Divine Storm to lock down the Genji, get the kill on him. We're chasing Cassie, we're using Holy Light to help burst her down. She stops to do her Fend attack, which enables Falstad and myself to pick up the kill with our basic attacks. And this is a massive lead for us, level 11 to level 8. But yeah, Guardian of Ancient Kings, instead of giving 25 armor, you give 75. 75 armor is insanely strong. I'd expect this talent to be nerfed. I mean, even if it was 50 armor, I think it's still really good. But at the moment, it's just mental. This is so good. Sonya is eating all those AoE things on the ground. Poor Sonya. She survives. Hooray. But yeah, I mean, it's going to remove so much of the kill pressure from the enemy team. Whenever they get the Arthas root, whenever they get the Dahakatung, or whenever Malf goes in with his combo, if we're able to get a heal through our teammates during that time, that will just mitigate so much of what they're trying to do. I'd actually, on a side note, I'd actually like if they made the armor stuff a bit more obvious in game. At the moment, there's like a purple shield when they are vulnerable, and then they get a silver shield when they've got armor. It would be nice if there was like a stacking shield with like 3 different tiers for like 25, 50, and 70, and then maybe a broken shield or something when they have vulnerability. I don't know. It would be nice if it's more visually represented, but anyway. Level 10, Divine Storm. We already used it once to secure a kill on Genji, but it's just so good. It's a 1.75 second stun AoE, which is actually a very long time. Such a strong talent. Insanely strong. Going to be great against Genji in this game, and also the Cassia. Lock them down, get the kills. Divine Shield is okay. Generally speaking, I think Storm is the way to go. Arthas just gets absolutely evaporated. We've got level 10. Enemy team does not. We're pushing in here very aggressively. Sonya, we're able to heal her up, keep her alive. I think we can use Divine Storm if needs be, but the game is over at this point, and GG. A very quick game here, but I really think this one showed you. I think the draft, if you didn't watch the draft, I highly recommend you watch the draft, because Braxis is more than any map in the game determined by the draft, and I think we had such a good one. Probius just to control all the wave clear down bottom, Uther to lock down and prevent any of their pick potential, and really to bother the 2 damage dealers, particularly the Genji that they went with. Their Cassia pick wasn't great. Had the Falstad to roam and to gank, and he was free to do so because of the Probius. Sonya to win the solo lane up top. And yeah, made for a very short, very simple game. But hopefully a bit of an insight into Uther. The talent build should be up on the left for the other talents, the other tiers. I think Blessed Champion, Benediction, and Redemption are fairly standard. I mean, you can mix it up a little bit. But this is kind of the standard enough Holy Shock build. One of the benefits with Holy Shock as well is that it does trigger Blessed Champion. So you can like have pretty big uptime on that, which is pretty damn useful. Benediction, you can double stun. So you can really lock someone down for a long time with double Hammer of Justice. So that's 1.5 seconds stun plus 1.75 seconds of stun. I mean, it's almost, what's that? It's over 3 seconds of stun. it's a long time of stun that you can get with Benediction. It's kind of nuts, and that is really what makes Uther so strong. He's, you know, tanky's at the front. He's difficult to kill. He brings a lot of CC, and his healing isn't too bad either. And then just the amount of burst protection he gives with the armor. Through his devotion and through Garden of Ancient Kings. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up if you did. I'll catch you all next time for some more Heroes of the Storm. Bye bye.